helping Murphy acclimate to a ramp before I ask him to get into a vehicle. I first present the ramp and I reward any interaction with the ramp. I reward him if he looks at it, I reward him if he just barely touches it. And I start with the ramp flat on the ground. If at any point Murphy were to look scared, I would stop the exercise and try something easier, maybe something that's sort of like a ramp, but not the ramp. And also, you see my hand in front of his nose there? We've already practiced targeting in other situations. I'm not luring him with a treat. And we'll talk about why you don't want to lure with a treat in the description box below. But I'm asking him to target my finger just to get him onto the ramp. But if he looks scared getting onto the ramp, I wouldn't even ask him to target my finger. But I'm having him target my finger, and then I'm treating him for getting onto the ramp. I've raised the ramp about 2.5 inches off the ground, and I'm asking him to get onto the ramp again. I'm trying to take it in stages. My van is about 19 inches off the ground.
Very good.
Now the ramp is 6 inches off the floor.
Very good, little buddy. Come on now. Come on. You can do it. Yes. Very good, baby Smuffy. Very good. Outstanding, little buddy. Who's my smart man? Very good.
Now the ramp is 14 inches off the floor, and Murphy is hesitant. So I raised the criteria much too quickly, and now Murphy is uncomfortable, so I'm not going to ask him to continue. I'm going to back up and make it easier for him.
Was it too high for you? We'll try it again later, okay? That's cool.
Here I'm reducing the height by 4 inches, and additionally I'm going to put a sheet on top of the rubber tiles because the texture might have confused him, or the color of the tiles might have looked weird, because before he was only stepping onto sheets onto a bed, and now I'm asking him to step on this weird plastic from the ramp. So I'm changing the criteria to make it a bit easier for him. And here Lupe snuck in because she thought Murphy was having such a good time. And here Murphy is again. He's going to try it again, and this time he looks way more comfortable. So what I'll probably do is increase in smaller increments until we get up to 19 inches.
That's my big buddy.
And then I'll proof in different locations before we try it at the van.
Very smart, buddy. Oh, are you ready, Mama? Are you ready?
As I already mentioned, you want to start at a place where the dog is comfortable. If Murphy were even afraid of the ramp while it was laying on the ground, then we would back up in our sessions and maybe try something that's a little less scary than a ramp, but kind of like a ramp. But actually, we had already been practicing walking onto hard plastic because the dogs have been rewarded a lot for walking onto a doggy scale. So that helped our progress along. And as I mentioned earlier, teaching targeting can help. But if he was at all scared, I could have made the process a little slower by just waiting for any type of interaction and letting him choose when he wanted to walk on the ramp. And the food should come after the dog makes the decision to step on the ramp. You don't want to coax him with the food.
Good job, Mama.
Another thing that made this process easier for the dogs was that they've already been heavily rewarded for going onto mats and going onto beds. And the ramps lead to a heavily rewarded bed. So it was something familiar and comfortable for them.
Can you do it? Can you get it? Yes.
Something else that helped, I was working with all 3 dogs individually, and when I was working one dog, the other dogs were watching from crates. So they were getting excited about what was going on, and they were happy to try the procedure because they saw the other dog having such a good time.
All right. There you go. Good job, boy.
This was shot all in one day, all at one time. But you want to go at your dog's pace. This process might take 30 minutes. It might take 2 or 3 days. It might take 2 or 3 weeks. But if it takes longer than a few days and you don't seem to be making any progress at all, you might want to really review your counter conditioning procedures, and I will include a link on counter conditioning and desensitization in the description box. It might also be best to consult a qualified professional, and I will provide a link on looking for a trainer. And just getting up the ramp is only part of the process. If you have a dog that's not used to riding in a vehicle, you'll want to work on that separately. You don't want to just have them go up the ramp and then drive off. And I'll include a link in the description box about vehicle acclimation. And another thing that goes well with vehicle acclimation is crate or mat acclimation, because you can put a crate or a mat inside the vehicle to help the dog have a familiar place to go to.
Okay, good boy. Yes, good girl.
Use high value treats for this procedure,
Try again.
preferably something that the dog doesn't normally get, something that the dog thoroughly enjoys. And what the dog likes is entirely dog dependent. But a lot of dogs are really going to enjoy meat or fresh meat,
Okay, good enough.
or something stinky like sardines, of course not the kind that's packed in salt. Check with your vet and check with your dog on something that your dog really enjoys
Kind of better ankle, huh?
and something that's safe for your dog.
Yes, oh, boy, good job. Yes, that's what we
Also, if the ramp is going to be quite high, double check with a vet or ortho vet to make sure that climbing is safe for your dog's structure.
There you go, big girl. Yeah, you see, please.
And experiment with alternatives if your dog has trouble going up a ramp, like maybe some stacked mattresses in front of your vehicle, something the dog can easily climb onto.
So, baby.
For more training tips, see our webpage, stubbypuddin.com. Follow us on Facebook, Stubby Puddin.